You think they're tired of us yet?
Probably.
Just two goobers in front of the camera every week.
Yeah, are you enjoying this so far?
I'm enjoying it so far.
Are you?
Yeah.
She took my side. I didn't really have a say. I wanted that side. That's my good side.
I feel like we should get accustomed to, if you guys are not watching the video on YouTube, this is your time to do it. But I feel like we should get accustomed to, like, different angles and stuff, you know? Because
yeah, next episode I'll be, like, upside down.
He's going to be hanging upside down from the roof. So, like, why not just me check out this side for a little bit?
Do you like it over there?
Yeah, I feel superior. Because I get two, like, armrests now.
How do you think I feel?
Exactly.
You're not. Why are you sitting in, like, the back corner of it? Anyways, I have a story.
All right.
So yesterday I went out to my favorite neighborhood lounge to, you know, do some work on my laptop. I'm not name dropping them because I'm upset with them. They're not getting any, you know,
I didn't know that.
Any highlight right now. I'm upset with them. You know what it is. I'm upset with them. This is why, right? So I go all the time, every day, practically every day. It's in West Village. I sit down from like 5 to 7, work on my laptop, do some writing, reading, whatever it is, right?
Right.
So I'm doing just that yesterday, right? And I'm sitting in my favorite sofa in the corner, right? And I
always get that seat. How is it always open for you?
For me, that's what I'm saying. Like, they know I'm here, right?
Okay.
And this, I get there when it's like half full, and I'm there till like 7:30. It starts getting packed out, and it's all full. But I still got my sofa, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's my sofa,
right?
And everybody that works there, they know me at this point. You're like, oh, you know, it's the Bengali kid is I'm here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was this one new guy, never seen him before. Never seen him. Like, he doesn't know that I'm from here. I'm from here.
Right.
He doesn't know that though. So he like keeps walking in and keeps like looking at me.
You have so much Vaseline on your face. Can you wipe it a little bit? Right here on this side, other side.
My fault.
So shiny. Like, you're so greased up.
Trying to say moisturized.
No, on this other side.
Can I finish?
This side.
I don't think they care.
Okay, but just so shiny in front of me. All right.
Anyways, so he keeps eyeing me, right?
Right.
And now it's like 7:30. The place is packed. And he comes to me and he's like, and I got my headphones in, and he says something, right? And I take off my headphones. I'm like, what? And he's like, yo, do you mind leaving?
Oh.
I have like a party or two that, like, you know, wants like a sofa, and you know, you've just been here for a while. Do you mind heading out?
No way they said that to you. You didn't tell me this.
Yeah, because I was saving it for the podcast. So I guess, like, so I told him, I was like, give me a few minutes, because I plan on leaving anyway. I was like, give me a few minutes. He's like, all right. And I took like a couple more minutes than like I was hoping for. And he kept coming in, like, peeking at me. I'll be like, hi. And I ended up leaving. So I asked you, like, is that right of him to do? Because think about it. I'm a loyal customer. I go there all.
Does he know that?
He doesn't know that. He doesn't know that. But is it? But that's the part that makes me wonder. Like, is it right of him to do that? Because maybe he could have thought that I'm like a one-off. I'm like not spending no money here. Or you think about, I literally come here every single day.
Were you hogging a whole sofa to yourself?
It was like a little love seat, like a 2-person sofa.
Oh, I know. It wasn't
like a 6-piece sofa.
The one that we sat on.
Yeah.
So these people came in wanting a whole sofa to themselves?
It was just a couple.
Okay,
they wanted,
but
like, a little sofa.
Are they allowed to just ask for what they want and then expect
I don't
to get
think they asked. They didn't ask. The waiter, they came up to the waiter and was like, oh, are there any seats? And then the waiter came up to me and asked me if I could leave so that they could sit there.
He could have at least asked you.
Y'all think that's right?
Forcing you out.
Y'all think that's right?
That's not right.
Cause listen, like, I'm like a really like valued customer over here. Like, I really come here like every other day.
He goes in.
Like, I really put in work in this place. Like, I really bust out poems in this place. Like,
right.
And like, I'm still gonna go back. That's the part that sucks.
Right.
I'm still gonna return.
A little toxic relationship.
But you know, that fucked me for a while. Like, the whole time on like the train ride back, I was like, damn, like, what happened?
No, that's kind of messed up. You should talk to the manager.
No, what's he gonna do? Just write my name on the sofa. Watch the sofa.
Good story. It
really
made me think. Got my gears grinding.
Right.
But anyways, welcome back to our podcast called Difficult Dish, a podcast about different South Asian narratives. I am Mohuya.
My name is mashnun.
Can you believe we're in November already? We're in November.
How you feel? What's like one thing that you want to do in November that like you didn't do in October, or like, you know, July, whatever it was before?
October and then July. Do some more fall festivities.
Yeah, the fall foliage image is really starting to come in.
Yeah.
Like when the trees change colors.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that though. I'm from Florida.
Yeah, that's why we gotta do it more for you.
Yeah. But last year it happened in October.
But I feel like I did participate in some fall activities this year in September, October. It just doesn't feel right to like be happy and joyous during this time right now in the world. It's just like it doesn't.
See, I was a little confused.
Yeah, you were a little bit confused, but I got you there.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to be joyous right now. But,
that's true.
We just gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah. Speaking about like not like happy things. What are we talking about? This episode.
Yeah. So this episode's gonna be a banger.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
So we actually have so much to talk about that we're actually going to break this up into 2 different parts and maybe even 3 when like the final, diagnosis comes in.
Oh, shit.
But right now in this episode, we kind of want to talk about our mental health journey and not about like depression, not about things like that, but more about like, neurodivergent issues. So like,
what's that mean?
OCD. Don't ask me what that means. ADHD, ADD.
Yeah,
there are different words, different acronyms that we're going to be throwing around, right? And there are so many different things that we can talk about. So there's like, what is that? What does it stand for? What are the symptoms? Why does it feel like we have that? What made us want to go get help or not get help? Medication, is that a thing? Is it taboo in this culture? Why is it? What's our experience? There are so many different things, right? So it just feels wrong to not break it up. Why try to congest it all together when we can kind of just talk about it more in depth
and make them wait like week after week after week.
Right.
Got it.
But also, we don't want to be the type of people to just like give you the end goal and like the success story, because I feel like a lot of people, even with like their business or like their depression, they kind of talk about it at the end, like the tail end of everything. When things are better or things are like 100% done for the most part. So we kind of want to like take you throughout the whole process and just like talk to you about how we've been kind of dealing with it the past few months and years.
Yeah, and just to preface, we're 2 goobers.
Yeah,
we're gonna,
two goobers.
We're not professionals. We're not doctors. My mom wanted me to be a doctor, and
it didn't happen.
I'm a podcaster.
Here you are.
Same thing.
The co-host, CEO of Typical Dish.
So take what we say with a grain of salt. We're just talking about our experiences. Yeah. I have what I believe to be a long history and battle with ADHD, as she does with OCD.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, you wanna dig right into the depths of the.
Damn, we're really matching today. If you didn't see that video.
Oh, you try to copy me?
No, I put on this outfit first.
I was born first.
No, you weren't.
Anyways,
and also if we are like laughing throughout this episode, we're not making fun of any of the issues or problems or anything that we're talking about. It's just us, making light of the situation. We don't think it's a joke at all.
Yeah, dealing with the trauma through comedy and laughing.
As we do.
Yeah, that's actually why I actually want to get into stand-up comedy. I've been telling you this for a while.
You've been telling me this.
I've been telling you this for a while because I love stand-up. I think it's like, anyways. I saw a psychiatrist for the first time, like 5 months ago, and I got diagnosed with a whole array of things.
A lot of things.
But I wanted to see him because I wanted to see if I had ADHD. Turns out he diagnosed me with ADHD. Mm-hmm. So you might be asking, what is ADHD?
What is ADHD?
I don't really know.
What does it stand for?
ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder. Hyperactivity, just feel me? Attention, just
right.
And like, what was the deficit? No attention.
Right.
That's me.
Yeah, we know. This like few words alone tells me that you have it.
So you might be asking, what are the symptoms of ADHD? Why did I think I had it or have it? And I'm gonna tell you. Mm-hmm. So there were some big giveaways and some big symptoms that were occurring.
Well, when did you feel like you first started having it?
I mean, so ADHD is a mental health condition that begins at childhood. It begins at childhood. Like, the symptoms of it start showcasing in childhood, and it's best, and honestly, it's vital that you get checked for ADHD when you are a kid, because when you are an adult and you want to get diagnosed with ADHD, a lot of times these psychiatrists and these doctors will be like, oh, like maybe this happened, and this happened when you were 14, and this is this is what's causing the symptoms of ADHD. Versus when you're 5, you don't have anything to affect the symptoms of ADHD other than just like the ADHD. So I felt a lot of the symptoms of it when I was really young, but I just didn't know what ADHD was. I also just thought I was dumb, and I thought I was just very behind. And I thought that I would like grow into a lot of the places where I'm lacking, like as just I grow up and stuff. But I didn't learn about what ADHD was, and specifically what the symptoms or like the actual like physical symptoms of ADHD are, until like a year ago. Like I think I heard the term thrown around all the time, and I was like, oh, like I probably got that, whatever. But I didn't read into like these are the actual very specific symptoms. Were you that like occur. In denial? No, I was like, that is literally me. Like there were very, very specific symptoms that happened, like very, very specifically to me, that I was just like, man,
so like before you saw like the definition of it and the symptoms, you just assumed you didn't have it, and you were like inept in it. You were lesser than everyone else because
I just thought I was just messed up, like, and I thought kind of what the psychiatrist said of like, things happen to you in your life and they can affect you. If like something traumatic happens to you when you're 18, like you may like if you got bit by a spider when you're 18 and you got to go into the hospital, right, you're gonna be scared of spiders for like the rest of your life. I thought it was something like that with me, where like things just happened to my life and I was like, oh man, now I am like terminally mentally affected. From, like, terminally ill. But yeah, I mean, I got diagnosed with ADHD, and some of the giveaway symptoms are, you can't focus. Can't focus on anything.
Like this is your symptom?
No, this is like all ADHD. ADHD, okay. Can't focus. Okay. No focus.
Try to focus. You have so much focus. You're such a focus. You never get on topic. I am
able to stay on topic.
You never get on topic.
I don't talk about stand-up comedy abruptly. Right. Yeah, always trying to switch subjects, forgetting everything, which that one was hard to believe because I like usually don't forget. Like I'm really really good with my memory. Can't even joke about it. I'm really good with my memory. Like let me talk to y'all. Like she didn't believe me. I really good with my memory. Like I really forget. I really remember like everything. So that one was a little hard to believe. But
by the way, before like we continue, so not only are we gonna talk about like what we got diagnosed with or what we believe we have, versus like the symptoms and feelings that we've had, but we're also going to kind of talk about how this has affected our relationship as two neurodivergent human beings, and how someone with ADHD might have an impact with someone with OCD, allegedly. So sorry. Yeah, you can talk about your feelings and your symptoms.
I didn't want to be like this. So yeah, I have perfect focus. I have perfect memory. Yeah, just like always like trying to switch topics, not being able to study. I always like forgetting, like so deeper than like the forgetting stuff. Like we've talked about this before. It's things like I remember in like my second semester, why are you laughing? That's so funny.
Sometimes he'll have to do like hard responsibilities that he has to just get done in a second, and then
hold on, let me finish.
Wait before you go, and then like he'll have to do it, right? Like it's necessary to live, but then I'll ask him, like, come on, what'd you do today? And he's like, oh, I like twiddle my thumbs. Like
hold on, like you're making fun of it, but this is a real symptom of ADHD. You're making fun of the mentally damaged people. Okay, this is real stuff. Right. I remember my second semester at college, I didn't check my grades a single time because my mindset was like, I know I'm failing. Why do I have to see myself failing? That's just gonna make me feel worse. Right. I already know what's going on. Turns out, like, if you check your grades, you are able to, re-strategize and eventually graduate and eventually pass your classes. But, my mindset was like, oh, I'm already doing bad.
never check.
Never check, never give up, like, or always give up, only give up, and check your grades like the day when grades are due, where like there is no chance to like revitalize your grades, and then open them, and so like you have some like internal satisfaction that you did open your grades and you did give yourself a chance, but like you actually didn't because it's like the last day. So these are things that like you're not gonna get.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like you sometimes go through things, and that's how you know that me and you are different in that sense. It's like you go through things, and like I try to help you in the way that I would handle a situation, but like our minds just don't work the same,
get it.
Because like for me, I check my grades like before it's even out, like it's easy for me to just check it and like do the work beforehand to get it up if it is down. You know?
But I did get better. You remember like my last couple semesters?
Yeah,
I used to love checking my grades. Yeah. Damn,
it was like a high.
That shit nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, what else? Just like when you're in conversation with somebody, like always. Like, I don't want to call it, like, intrusive thoughts, but, like, when you're talking to somebody, you're just, like, thinking about something else. Like, they're talking, and you're, like...
I don't think that's intrusive thoughts. I think that's more just, like, not being able to sit still and be present.
Yeah. But also, I think it's interesting that, like, maybe this is just, like, a me thing, but, like, I'll be that, but I'll also be, like, the person that is able to, like... Like, I remember when I used to, like, paint in my apartment.
Yeah.
I would just paint for 6 hours straight, uninterrupted, unable to like lose focus and like lose sight of like what I'm trying to do. Same with the conversation. Am I having a really good conversation with somebody? I could literally just like stop thinking about everything else in life and just like only be focusing on like what this person is saying for like hours and hours. So,
but I think that shows how like things like this aren't like cut in stone. It's not just like clear cut. Like if you do have most of the symptoms that do define someone with ADHD. And you don't have like the others, that doesn't mean you don't have it. You know, like it's different for everyone. It can be a lot more serious for most people. It can be a lot less serious. Like that doesn't mean you don't have it just because it's not like every single definition in the book.
And I think that's what, I mean, this is like a bigger conversation, but I think that's what has, prolonged my journey with like trying to see what type of mental health condition I may have, because I always used to think of myself, and I still do, of like, oh, like I only feel like this like sometimes, or I only feel like this when like really bad things happen, or I only feel like this in certain situations. So I don't want to like put this condition by my name when like I'm able to like get myself out of it and I'm able to like be fine most of the time. I think that's why like with ADHD with me like being okay most of the time, I would tell myself like, oh, I don't have ADHD, I'm just like kind of weird sometimes, but like but like you said, like just because things happen sometimes doesn't mean that like you don't have the thing by your name and you're not like actually diagnosed with something. But enough about me. What's going on with you, buddy?
But it's so interesting because like what you said about you feeling dumb in school because you didn't get like the best grades as everyone else, and you not being able to focus and study and focus in class and things like that. One of my close friends also had that kind of upbringing growing up, where in like high school and college she felt stupid because she wasn't able to like be up to speed with everyone else, and she like blamed herself for it, and she thought it was like a personal problem, and like that diagnosis of ADHD or ADD, whatever it is, helped her feel so much more secure, and like that clarification is what she needed to like feel better about herself and just know like, damn, first of all, I can get help for this with medication, but also second, this isn't like me, like I didn't ask for this isn't me just like not trying hard enough, like you can try your hardest and sometimes it's still not enough. So I think it's good that you get that clarification.
And I also think I had this revelation like a couple days ago where like I was thinking about how there are all these symptoms that come with these mental health conditions, and some of them, and I think we'll talk about this later, like some of them are just really, really, really hard or like near impossible to just like shake off. Like I actually don't remember everything. I actually forget a lot of stuff. And I have always been like that.
Yeah.
And I actively always try to get better. Like I'm always trying to get better. Like it's never like out of my head the fact that I don't have good memory. Like even like remembering what I did like 4 days ago, like I always like actively throughout the day, I'm like trying to remember. Like I actively work on it, but still I forget. And I think it was kind of messing with me the other day where I realized, like, as much as I might try and I'm still incapable, am I just weak? Like, am I just like a weak human, like, who's like weak-minded? No, like, actually, like, I'm not saying me specifically, but I'm just saying, like, if this comes across a human's mind where, like, it could be very like mentally depleting, just like having to ask yourself, are you just not like a capable human being? Like, just because you have this thing or like this condition that's ongoing, it can make you question, like, are you like a 100% human? Do you have to live life as like a 85% human? Like, and that could really mess with you,
Yeah. But I think, when you have conditions like that, you kind of internalize it, and then you're kind of like, oh, should I take medication for it? But then there's all these side effects, or maybe I should just try to live with it without medication. So there are so many different things to handle, especially in this culture where us even talking about something like this, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people
that are weird, man,
of it, but I know that for a fact there's going to be a lot of people that also watch this and listen, and they're just going to be like, what are you talking about? Like, this is made up.
Even me, bro, this is like my first time ever talking about this.
Yeah,
like, I never even talked about this.
Even for me, this is my first time kind of talking about it, and it's hard because it's still very made up in certain families and cultures, and I just know it's going to be a conversation later.
But tell me about yourself, buddy. What you got going on with you, huh?
Yeah.
Everything okay?
What don't I got?
Everything okay?
All right, so I want to give a disclaimer. I have tried a lot to get diagnosed officially.
She has.
We'll talk about it in the next episode for like the part 2 of just like the whole journey of me trying. So I cannot confirm 100% that I have OCD, but I'm like almost 100% sure that I have like something, and I'm pretty sure it's OCD.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what OCD is, it stands for obsessive compulsive disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And
Easy.
I'd like to actually go through the website of all of the symptoms and like what it means.
You're gonna do that
so
for
that
us?
So I don't like butcher it, and then I'll kind of go through like my symptoms in relation to like the symptoms that are on the book, right?
Got you.
All right.
Pull it out. In the meantime, like the video.
Yeah. Make sure
subscribe
to like
to our YouTube channel. If you're listening to the audio only, this is your cue.
Mm-hmm.
Please, we are good-looking people. I have 3 beverages in front of me.
Yeah, we really
I'm drinking
do.
all of them. Not listen. Watch the videos on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment.
Know what we didn't do in the last few episodes?
What?
The emoji.
Wait till the end for the emoji, because we're going to let you know an emoji. I got to tell you right now, we're going to tell you in the end. We're going to forget. We'll put it in the edit if I forget.
We always have an emoji that you guys comment at the end of the episode, but we've been forgetting the last few. So this time around, we won't forget.
Gosh darn.
All right. So what are the symptoms of OCD, right?
Yeah.
People with OCD may have obsessions or compulsions or even both. Obsessions are repeated thoughts, urges, or mental images that are intrusive, unwanted, and make most people anxious. I'm never anxious. I'm not
right before we recorded. Oh my god, I'm so anxious. Oh my god,
But anyway, so common obsessions include fear of germs or contamination.
Wow.
Fear of forgetting, losing, or misplacing something.
Wow.
Fear of losing control over one's behavior. Aggressive thoughts towards others or oneself. Unwanted, forbidden, or taboo thoughts involving sex, religion, or harm. Desire to have things symmetrical or in perfect order. And compulsions are repetitive thoughts a person feels the urge to do, often in response to an obsession. So these include excessive cleaning or hand washing, ordering or arranging in a particular precise way, repeatedly checking things such as the door is locked or the oven is off, compulsive counting, praying or repeating words silently. So I can already
how does that make you feel?
I can already say what I have and what I don't have. Like I have some feelings, and you know what I don't like?
What?
Well, I guess it is a reality for some people, but you know those shows like My Strange Addiction. And I remember like they would show hoarders, they would show like
people
the
obsessed
worst of
with,
the
like,
worst,
plastic.
or like the extreme of the extreme, not the worst.
Yeah.
And they would show like people with OCD just like locking the door 36 times and like cleaning the floor constantly. They would show the hoarders like having a mound full of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like those shows, obviously those are important because it like reflects maybe like a small percentage of people in the world. But I feel like it always gave such an extreme rep of like what those things are. And it just like makes you not want to actually have it. Yeah,
it tarnishes like what the average person who's like probably going through this is going through.
Yeah, it has such a like bad rep sometimes, you know, and I'm sure it just makes it worse for people that do want to get diagnosed or feel like they have it. But anyway.
So which one of those you got? Let me know. I can name a bunch.
Germs or contamination.
Oh my God. This woman. Can you go downstairs and go buy me hand sanitizer and then come back up and drop it off before you go?
I have some fear of germs.
Yeah, you do.
I like having my hands clean before everything.
Yeah, facts.
But it's interesting because there's also something where it's like you want to be very clean or hand wash everything. I don't have that. Like, I get very anxious, obviously, when my space around me is, like, unclean or unorganized. But I don't think that's just, like, me. I think that's a lot of people for the most part.
Yeah.
So I don't think I have, like, an excessive compulsion to keep cleaning because I honestly don't like cleaning. Yeah. Fear of forgetting, losing, or misplacing something. I mentioned this in the first episode. I thought I was going to shit myself when I thought I lost the mics.
If you guys didn't know, we had 2 better mics than these.
Expensive.
And we don't have them.
Yeah.
We don't know where they went.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
That was my fault. That was my fault. Yeah. So I have, like, everything organized. Like, I have everything written down. Which I kind of, like, see it as a good thing. You know? Like, it's good to be organized.
You don't even have everything organized. You just know where all of your stuff is.
Yes.
But it's not organized. Like, you get, like, you have a piece of mail that's, like, in, like, the bottom back shelf behind the like, third cabinet. And you know where it is.
Know, but no one else will know.
All right.
By the way, this is also on the National Institute of Mental Health website. So it's
shout out to
facts,
them.
You know?
Shout out to them.
Fear of losing control over one's behavior.
Do you have that? You lose control of one's behavior, but are you scared of it?
I'm not scared of it.
So you don't have that.
But I have like controlling issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next
one.
one.
She does.
Aggressive thoughts towards others or oneself. I don't have that. Hey, enough. Don't look at the camera like you're in the office. That was made up, okay? Unwanted or taboo thoughts of religion. No, I don't have that.
Unwanted
or forbidden. Desire to have things symmetrical or in perfect order.
Not really like that.
Yeah, I'm not like that. Whatever. I think I like having things like organized where I know where it is, but it doesn't have to be like straight. Like, you know how people get like it's a 90-degree angle. It's not supposed to be 87.
All right, enough of that.
Yeah.
Tell us like what are some of the early symptoms, like what are some of the early signs that you were getting, you know, when you first discovered the term OCD, and like, you know, like just like your journey with like some of your symptoms.
You know, it's crazy because like when I first really like confronted the idea that it's a real thing that many people have, like it's not like uncommon for people to have ADHD, ADD, like whatever it is. I think I started seeing it in like family members. I'm like, damn. They act a certain way.
Facts.
That are very, you know, the disrespectful but common term that people use is like anal, right? Yeah. They're very like specific and hardcore with certain things, and like if you don't get it the exact way as like how they want it, you're in the wrong, you're stupid, you get yelled at. It has to be like exactly how they want it. And I saw like how it like took over their lives because first of all, they didn't want to acknowledge that they had it, or second, they just thought that it was like the normal way to live, and they would blame it on everyone else besides themselves. So I think that's when I first started realizing like, oh damn, there's people that I know that have this like compulsive, you know, like ideology, and it like makes them up. So maybe like I also have it. So I was really like the first one that started confronting the idea that I might have it, but like actually getting help for it and like understanding that this is a real thing instead of just like assuming that it makes me, you know? Like some people just think that it's like a part of their identity, which it is, but it's not something that you can't like get help for.
Yeah.
You know? Like I would never want my main personality and identity to be just someone that is constantly like trying to control other people or like getting angry when things aren't, you know, their way, like things like that. So I think that's when I first started understanding that it might be something that I have. And then honestly in like the last few years is when I kind of like thought maybe I have something like this, because I got very like tunnel visioned on my goals and like aspirations in life, and obviously that's not a bad thing at all, but I got so tunnel visioned to the point where like I got like I controlled how I was, like I controlled how much work I did, which was a lot. I got very organized, and these are all great things to have when you're working, but I think on like the negative end of the stick, it's like how was I reacting when that work wasn't getting done, and when like I wasn't able to do something, or like someone that was working with me wasn't able to do the thing that they needed to do for me, like, you know, things like that. So I think that's when it started feeling like a negative thing. So people always ask me like, oh, how are you able to do so many things at the same time? Like, how are you so organized? How are you so productive? And those are, again, great things. And I would always say like, oh, I think honestly I have undiagnosed like OCD, and it like it's like a forceful thing. Like sometimes maybe I don't want to do work. Sometimes I need a rest day. But because I have those urges, I feel like I have to get it done. Like something for me is that I have to feel like I can cross off everything on my to-do list, you know? Yeah,
that's true.
So, yeah, it is helpful sometimes to feel like it's your superpower. You know, it feels like you're so organized to the point where you can get all of your work done, and this is helpful for you to like succeed. But then at the other end of the stick, when it's like a negative thing, it feels like the end of the world, you know?
Yep.
So it's really like you know, there's no in between.
Yeah, I think like one of the most difficult parts about having something like ADHD is the fact that like, one, I don't want to say it's like very made fun of in like movies and TV shows or like whatever, like because everybody just thinks like OCD is like having to put things in a certain way. Yeah. But it's also like, you know, and this happens like with us where like something will happen and I know it's caused by like a symptom of like something related to OCD, but like that won't be what I think it'll just be like something like that you did that upset me. Was for you it's like something that's like really hard for you to control. Yeah, but like that's not what like where my mind goes in the beginning. And like the same situation for me, like if there's something I do wrong, I would be like, oh, like in my head, like, it's just really hard for me to do it right. But your mind instantly goes to, like, oh, like, why couldn't he just blah, 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 you know? So that part, like, really gets in the way.
But I feel like, yeah, sometimes people take how you act very personally, whereas the person that is, you know, like, lashing out or having those symptoms of ADHD or OCD, like it's very hard for them to control it. Like, yeah, I'm sure, like for me specifically, like sometimes it feels so hard for me to like keep it in, and like I also feel so shitty when I lash out or like get anxious or like, you know, react in a negative ish way. But it's also something that I can't, like, I'm mad at myself when I do it, you know, but it's also something you can't really control. Yeah. So I'm glad that it's something that we can talk about, and it's something that we are willing to get help for, because I know some people just like live through their whole lives like this, and they don't give a shit about like how it affects other people. They just really care about themselves, or they just never had the room to get the help.
And most importantly, like making sure that like anybody that's listening that feels like they have symptoms of this stuff, like, you know, it's normal. Like everybody has like these like quote unquote like abnormal tendencies that like they feel like gets in the way of them accomplishing just like everyday tasks and stuff. Like my whole day will revolve around the fact that like I gotta go do homework. I got a day long of homework, and that's all I'm gonna think about. But like I end up just forgetting my pencil at home, And it's like, even though like my whole, like I've been thinking about my homework for the whole day, like I still forget, like, and like I'm not saying that's normal, but like it happens to like a lot of people, like it happens to me, you know. So it's like, I think it's really important. I wish I heard somebody saying what I have been saying this episode, like when I was younger, because again, I just thought I was stupid. I just thought I was a dummy boy.
You're not a dummy boy.
That's all a dummy boy.
You're not a dummy boy.
I was getting so many just like 72s and 67s. And
yeah,
doing
you
a lot
tried
of
your hardest. But also, it was. I mean, it's hard to really assess the situation because obviously, it could have been like the early onset stages of like ADHD, but it also was like your environment and like your home background and just like so many different things that made you unable to like study with focus and like work hard because of things that were out of your control, you know.
So what are some things that you're doing nowadays to help resolve or like help you manage maybe a lot of the outburst that you have?
It's been hard to do it. I mean, I try. I try.
No, you do.
Yeah, I try.
And you do.
You think like
good.
I try to like take deep breaths sometimes before breathing actually helps a lot. Just like sometimes I'm very quick with my anger or quick with like lashing out or getting anxious if something isn't going my way or if whatever it is, like I'm very quick to like get that out in the world because I'm like, damn, I'm unable to control it, so let me bring it on to whoever's like by me, you know.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm hungry, like I get hangry quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get hangry.
Yeah. Anyway, I know about that.
But I think for me, as I get older, it's good for me to like kind of step away from the situation for a bit and kind of like assess how I am mentally and then come back to it.
Yeah. Take a little pause.
Instead of just like taking it out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's interesting because like you asked me that, but that's something that me and you are different with.
What do you mean?
So like as I get older, I like stepping away from a situation if something upsets me or angers me or is not in my control, and I like thinking about it and like having that space by myself while I do some other work.
Yeah.
Whereas you're the type of person that confronts it right away in that moment. And so that's how kind of me and you clash.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It sucks.
Yeah, it
doesn't suck, but it's just something that like we gotta figure out what like our silver lining is.
Yeah, I don't know if there is though. That's the thing.
I think gradually we'll work closer and closer to like finding like a middle ground or something.
It definitely is a very different dynamic because a lot of people say like someone's true colors come out if you do business with them, if you do travel with them, or if you live with them, right? At this point, we've like done business together. You know, we do
difficult dish.
We do difficult dish, and it's just wild because like obviously we make it work and we love doing it, but there are also so many mishaps that happen sometimes.
There are.
You do work together and you do like everything together, and a lot of people are not able to make that work. Obviously, me and you are able to do it. But it just shows how if someone has OCD, if someone has ADHD or whatever else it is difficult to sometimes like agree on things and like do things the same way. I think another thing is like me realizing that other people are not the same as me and like I can't expect everyone else to do things this way that I do it. Because like when you expect everyone to just know where everything is because like you put it there or like do things the way that you would do things, like that's when the world is not going to go around, because people are different. People have different mannerisms and different like ways that they do things, and
like us, things things can get really like it's so funny because like I forget everything,
right?
And I forget where everything is. And she remembers where everything is.
I remember everything for him.
No, but I'm saying like the duality of like us doing stuff together is like if I take something of hers and I forget where it is, it makes her lose her mind because like it's hers and she usually knows where all of her stuff is. And then like she'll get frustrated at me, and then I'll be like, stop being so mad. Just be normal, be happy, be positive, because that's what I always just try to tell myself when I get frustrated or something. Right. So it's just like
but like what have you done better in the recent months and years to like be better with like remembering things or like be better with your compulsions?
Yeah, not a lot. You know, I'm unfortunately still
forgetting things.
Quite forgetful.
It's so crazy because we've tried so many different methods. Like we've tried a planner, we've tried like Google Calendars, we've tried like Post-it notes. Yeah. At one point, he had to just put actually about ADHD. He actually had to, like I was reminding him for months. We'll talk about it in the next episode. I was reminding him for months just to like get a definite answer and if he had it or not. And it was just like a simple click that he had to do, right? Yeah. He was not doing it, even though I reminded him for so long. At one point or another, he had to just take a Post-it note and write ADHD and just stick it onto the TV. And even then, I was scared to just like ask if he did it.
Listen. You gotta be like gentle with this type of stuff. You know, this is like a real serious condition.
Right, okay. But at one point or another, like how gentle can you be? You know.
No, you're right, and that's why.
No, you're right.
That's why I like you, cause like you know, like you like nag me about these types of things.
You like that though.
Yeah.
You don't like that.
No, I do. I like a loving nag. Like let me rephrase. I like when you nag me, but I don't like when I see it actually truly make you mad. You know, like I like when you're just like, yo, can you do this? But I don't like when it.
At one point or another, if it's been like 9 months and I've been telling you to do the one thing.
It's never 9 months. Now you're being dramatic.
All right.
No, but I think what I do mostly is, you know, just like as my day goes on, I just keep reminding myself stuff. I fill my notes app with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you do like using your notes app.
Yeah, I use my notes app a lot, and just like being more conscious about my life, like as my day goes on, and like just being more present and being more just thinking more about like what like my actual responsibilities are, and just like making sure that I don't like let it leave my head. Mm-hmm. Of course, things slip through, and I'm not gonna be perfect today or tomorrow or the day after that, but you know, over time, trying to get better. So I think just constantly remind myself, trying to be as conscious as possible, and I think this is quite general, but like just doing better, like for example with the school thing, I always got scared to check my grades because I thought I knew I was doing bad at school, but in like my last 2 semesters, I made it a priority to do really good at school, and that in a sense made me really excited to check my grades. And then I saw myself just constantly checking my grades, and that bled into like other things that like, oh, like I got over this so easily, like I could do something else that like I often forget or I often avoid.
So did you like do it like cold turkey, you just started checking, or did you slowly start like doing something for you to be okay with
like cold, like I just forced myself. Just, I was like from day one of like the semester, I was like, I'm gonna check my grade. I know I got nothing in there, but I'm gonna make it every single day. I just log in. And I cannot have an update for a week, but get like the flow and the consistency of just opening up, closing it, opening up, look, just like so you build like that repetition. And I think that I did that a lot in like my last couple semesters. That really helped me out.
You know what's something else that me and you are different with? What? You are able to just do things spontaneously. I mean, that's what I liked about you initially. It's like you like doing things spontaneously. You can do things without a plan and just like have a good day. Yeah. If I don't have like a direct itinerary of what exactly we're doing that day, it bothers me so much.
Yeah, it does. I know.
It pisses me off. I know. Yeah. Like, I'd love to be that person, like that.
But you can be. What's stopping you from being like that? I understand it's not you, but like, you can still try.
I tried.
But like you let it get to you.
Yeah, it's a big thing for me.
So what's the cure? What's the remedy? No cure, uncure. No cure. Uncure, just.
Yeah, some things like I've tried having like smaller ways of trying to just be okay with it. But I think in my head it just feels like a waste of time. I'm like, damn, there's all this precious time that I could have fit in other things that like I actually love doing, and there's like more certainty that I'd actually love doing it. Whereas if you don't have an itinerary and you're just like living life, however, there's like more room for failure. There's more room for like wasted time.
You're too into your head. You gotta.
That's crazy that you say that because I feel like you're more in your head than I am.
Not when it comes to being outside.
Because you're the type of person to like fixate on things for hours and like do maybe one or two things, whereas I'm able to do like smaller things and like
no, but I'm talking about when it comes to like being outside. Like I always tell you, like whenever I go outside, you're like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm just vibing. Yeah, just vibing. Like I'm just outside. I could literally like I'm the type of person I remember I used to come to New York City. I used to just walk for 12, 14 hours and just be entertained by like anything.
Yeah. I mean, I have days like that. I'll have days where like I'm just walking endlessly. Like, I'm just, like, people watching. Like, when I went to Paris, like, I didn't have an itinerary beforehand.
Yeah, so why can't we recreate that over here?
Because I think then I was kind of, like, on not work mode.
Vacation.
Like, I was on vacation mode.
Okay.
And that's rare for me.
I guess.
But usually, on,
just
my
be on, like,
day.
Be on, like, a forever vacation.
I don't know about that one. But, yeah, so let's normalize,
neurodivergent couples, mental
friends,
health conditions, friend relationships. You know, like it's okay. Like life is, you know, like it's normal. This stuff is normal.
You adjust.
This stuff is normal. We're all normal people. Do I look like an abnormal person?
True question. Don't answer that.
All right. As you guys know, we ask you guys. I can't talk and do this. Can you do it?
Yeah.
We ask you guys to Damn, what is it again?
On? All right.
So no, let me restate. So so before we record the episode, we let you guys know on Instagram what we're gonna be talking about. We posted on our story. We say, hey, give us your thoughts about this. We ask you guys, what are your guys' journeys or like experience with mental health conditions, specifically ADHD, OCD, and neurodivergent, neurophysiological conditions. And follow us on Instagram at difficultish.
At difficultish and TikTok
and TikTok, and we got some responses from you.
All right, so we basically kind of asked you guys, what is your experience with having any mental health conditions?
Mm-hmm.
We kind of made it very broad. Like, is it still taboo? What's your journey like? What symptoms did you have? When did you feel like you finally needed help? So we got like a wide array of different answers. Someone said, dealing with ADHD is weird because society is structured to function for neurotypical people.
Facts.
Let's talk about that.
No, I mean, he's basically saying, like society is meant for, like, normal people. But what about some of the people that are, like, a little bit outside the, you know?
Yeah, I think, like, people... So neurotypical, I just searched it up, is not displaying or characterized by autistic or other neurologically atypical patterns of thought or behavior.
The normies.
So neurotypical individuals often assume that their experience of the world is either the only one or the only correct one.
Yeah, it's like if like a teacher recognizes that you have trouble focusing, their first thought isn't, oh, like maybe we should do some additional testing for like the way that they focus or the way that they study. It's just automatically like, oh, like study more, or like, oh, like do better.
Yeah.
You know, it's never about like the actual like trying to care for like the well-being of like the actual student who's showcasing like consistent like struggle, like not failure with studying, but like struggle like retaining information or struggle getting good grades, but you recognize that they're like a good student and like they are smart. Like I feel like a teacher can easily tell apart like a student that is actually trying and a student that's just like doesn't care.
Yeah, I mean the way that I kind of like interpreted this is just like there's usually a standard with everything, and if you deviate away from the standard, you're seen as like crazy or like just too much.
Yeah.
And you don't really fall into like the typically normal behavior, you know, that is characterized by like people with ADHD or OCD.
True.
You know? So yeah, it is kind of like hurtful because again, like the same thing when we watch My Strange Addiction, it's like you see these really extreme people. Yeah. But they're seen as like bad. Like that's why they're on TV. They're seen as like
good
negative people.
They're good people.
So it's like if you do have any sort of those like extreme reactions or symptoms, you're automatically like characterized as just like abnormal.
Just because you like eat plastic.
God.
It's okay.
I'm pretty sure they had things
Life
like
is
that,
okay.
honestly.
Life is okay. It's okay. Just keep going. Just keep
Someone
smiling.
said journaling, like me, has been really helpful for anxiety, also breathing exercises. Yeah.
I feel like this journaling thing is like, we gotta do an episode on journaling. Like, what exactly does it? Like, is it like word vomiting? Is it like putting things out in bullet points?
Beauty in it, because like I always felt like journaling was very like boring. I always thought it was very like to the point. I thought it was like a diary basically. I was like, what's the difference between a diary versus a journal? But now that I'm older, I realize that like journaling can be anything. Like I'm on the side of TikTok where people journal with like pictures, like they kind of like recollect their week with like little drawings and doodles of like what they did, or just like it can be kind of a sketchbook, or you can just write your thoughts in bullet points, you know, because sometimes I'm like so anxious to the point and have so many thoughts that I don't want to write. I don't feel like writing a whole ass novel, but sometimes I'll just like write bullet notes and kind of like write down kind of like a word vomit, word dump of like things that are making me feel like, you know, bad. And then that helps me, and I'm not writing as much. People also journal with like voice notes, you know?
True.
So I think obviously there are different methods to, you know,
try them all
getting it out.
You might like one of them.
And then obviously you have to eventually get diagnosed.
Yeah.
If you'd like. Someone said, I've had OCD for just over 10 years now. My mom used to think I was jinn possessed.
Wow.
A few years back, it used to be that bad. I rarely left the house. I still struggle with it. There's so much to OCD. People associate just cleanliness with it.
Damn.
Yeah.
How'd it make you feel?
A little South Asian thing, huh?
How'd it make you feel?
Taboo feeling.
Little jinn. You're possessed.
You express any sort of sadness or depression.
You're possessed by the devil.
You're possessed. You have to get like what's the thing where the Catholic people they
baptized?
No, not baptized. Where they take the demon out of you.
Exorcism. Exercise. They need to exercise. If you got OCD, go on a run.
ODC.
if you got go bench some plates.
Yeah. Exorcism.
Yeah. Any other thought? Just exorcism.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that like that's the automatic reaction instead of maybe
I should listen to my kid.
And like maybe I should get them some help.
Right.
But the automatic reaction is like, get out of my house.
Possessed.
Get you exercise.
Possessed.
So
sad. That's crazy.
So sad.
Yeah.
Stop doing this. See,
good luck.
He'll just start like whacking things.
Yeah, I mean that's all.
But anyway.
Anyways, if you made it this far, what emoji they dropping?
They should comment the watermelon emoji.
Can you tell me why? Like, what's the
in solidarity.
What's the correlation?
You don't know what the watermelon emoji is?
No.
It's in solidarity with a country right now. Because it has the colors of the flag.
I've never heard that before, but
what are you talking about?
I've never heard the connection between a watermelon.
Commenting the watermelon.
I have not seen this. I'm sorry.
Ceasefire.
I'm sorry. I'm unfamiliar.
Okay, comment
the
watermelon.
Draw some watermelons down there in the YouTube, in the Instagram, in the everywhere. I need
TikTok.
It everywhere. Or DM me some watermelons.
Oh, wow. You're not going to respond.
Send me a watermelon.
All right,
whatever
you got any 10-second advice?
I got one.
Yeah.
When y'all go to the grocery store and y'all buy that bottle of lemonade that has 200 calories a cup and has 600 grams of sugar each cup, try the reduced sugar version. It's 25 calories. It has so much less sugar, and I swear to God, it tastes better. I swear to God. That's what I got on me right now. I swear to God, try it out. You'll thank me later. You got anything? I just really dropped some. That's good for both of us, honestly.
I don't know if that really constitutes that as advice. But anyway, mine is make a list like on your phone of like all the different food spots / like dessert spots / like cafes or whatever you go to usually, and just have like a running record of that. Because sometimes, you know, when you want something to eat and you want to go to a restaurant or whatever it is, but you can't think of any. Like, you have a craving, but you also don't. Like, sometimes we'll spend, like, 2 hours thinking about what we want to get. But when you have a restaurant, like, already written down of, like, spots you've tried, it makes it so much easier.
That's, like, the most OCD answer, like, you could have given me. Because I'm just the person, like, run and gun. Like, I'm running down the street, and I see, you know, the little, and I gotta go.
We know.
Feel me? But anyways... Thank you guys for tuning in to our episode of Difficult Dishes. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, check us out on YouTube. You might like it. You might like it. If you don't like it, go back to Spotify. It's fine. But you might like it here. If you're listening on YouTube, thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Difficult Dish. What's your Instagram?
Follow me on Instagram at Labyrinth.
Follow me on Instagram, Mashmunir. And see you next week.
We love you guys.
Love you.
Bye. Love.